Today on the Daily Deposit, the race against the debt ceiling. Will the government run out of money? If you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts. Now, once upon a time, in the land of the United States, there was a big challenge looming over the government. It was called the debt ceiling, and it had everyone on edge. You see, the government had borrowed a lot of money over the years, and it had reached its limit of $31.4 trillion in January. To keep paying its bills, the Treasury had been using some clever accounting tricks called extraordinary measures. These measures involved moving money around between different accounts, but they could only last as long as there was at least $30 billion left in those accounts. According to a report by some wise economists from Goldman Sachs, the Treasury was expected to run out of cash by June 8 or 9 if the debt ceiling wasn't raised. But there was a twist. The economists said there was a chance that the Treasury could run out of money even earlier, by June 1 or 2. The exact date was uncertain, but the clock was ticking. The Biden administration and congressional Republicans were trying to work together to find a solution. They thought they might have until June 1 to reach a deal, but the economists' report cast doubt on that. The negotiators had to hurry if they wanted to avoid a financial disaster. The economists also mentioned that the Treasury's cash balance had been fluctuating. One day it was $92 billion, but then it dropped to a little over $57 billion. These ups and downs depended on taxes coming in and government spending going out. The extraordinary measures were like a temporary band-aid, but they couldn't last forever. The economists believed that Congress would take action before the deadline, but they expected some twists and turns along the way. They thought there was a 30% chance of a deal happening this week or shortly before the deadline. The situation was like a suspenseful movie, and the markets were likely to get nervous until the debt limit was raised. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also spoke up about the situation. She said the chances of making it to mid-June without running out of money were quite low. She warned that if the debt ceiling wasn't raised, some bills might have to go unpaid. It was a tough situation with difficult choices ahead. Meanwhile, President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy were working hard to find common ground. They had been meeting and negotiating, trying to strike a deal that would prevent a disastrous default. Republicans wanted spending caps, while Democrats were hesitant about budget cuts. Time was running out, and they needed to act fast. The story reached a critical point. President Biden and McCarthy were set to meet again, and their staff would also be working late into the night. McCarthy believed that they needed to reach a deal this weekend to give Congress enough time to turn it into a law before the June 1 deadline. And so, the race against the debt ceiling continued. The fate of the government's finances hung in the balance. Would the negotiators find a solution in time? Only time would tell, and the whole nation was watching with bated breath.